Welcome, everybody, to our Thursday Talk series. And this is hosted by the Brahma Kumaris of Manhattan Meditation Center and Peace Village Retreats. So, warm welcome to this talk today on being busy is not cool. I know most of you, if you're looking at that image, you can feel what that girl is feeling, just being kind of ignored, and everybody's always busy lately. So this is a good talk in this day and time where all of us have this busyness mentality. So we have our speaker today, Rona Schweitz, who is going to take us into this talk and allowing us to move from being in a space of being busy to focusing on our attention. So turning it over to Rona.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello on Zoom and hello in person. Appreciating very much the new format that we are adapting to in person and also on Zoom. It is a bit strange, but at the same time, I think it is quite beneficial to be able to reach people everywhere without having to travel. But at the same time, there is a special vibe and a special power when it is in person. Okay, so tonight's talk, as Suja was already announcing, being busy is not cool. I think many people in New York City will not be too happy with this talk. But before we start, maybe we can take a moment of silence. And in that silence, just try and withdraw your attention from the external. Try and withdraw your attention from everything that you have been doing today and what is going to happen later and all the things that happened during this week, and just come back to self. And self means the inner being, the being of consciousness, the invisible experiencer. And just see if you can just have a few thoughts and not all these other things. Just a thought of peace or a thought of I am light. I am a being of peace. I am a being of light. I am a being, not a being that all the time is doing. And just let us take this moment to try and get a sense of that stillness of mind when we just are. And if it helps, then just use the image of a tiny star. Living light. A being of consciousness. Sitting behind the eyes. In the center of the forehead. The center of consciousness. And just try and grasp this shift of doing, interacting, talking, listening, to just being. A being of light. a being of stillness, a being of consciousness, the soul. Thank you. We will experiment a bit during this hour with this practice of withdrawing your attention. And just right now, at this moment, try and observe within yourself this function or this ability. Just give me a moment. This function that we have, this ability that we have to withdraw attention and focus attention as if inwards, or have our attention directed externally to others, to situations, to the past, to the future, or be distracted by things around, or to bring your attention back and say, I don't need to think about all these other things. I can just also be focused inwardly and become aware of my own inner attitude and the atmosphere within my own mind, and not be pulled in all kinds of directions. In this world, there are a billion things that you could be thinking about and that you could be doing, if not more. But you all the time choose. I will do this, or I will think about this, that, or maybe we don't consciously choose, but still we're not doing all the things all the time. So you have that power of choice. We just need to cultivate it more. We need to be consciously aware of it and use it consciously. And so being busy is not cool. It's a bit of a, what is it? Defiant statement to challenge the tendencies that are going on in our culture, the tendencies that are going on in society, and that you may have even observed within yourself. We are busy, 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 busy. I don't know if people everywhere, all over the world and all cultures are like this, but I have a feeling it is like this. I have friends who live in the Caribbean. And one of those friends, they live on an island and there are only 16,000 people living on that island. But she's all the time busy. All the time busy, busy, busy. So it is not about how many people there are, how it is, we have created a world culture, a way of living worldwide that makes us busy, busy, busy. And the question is, do we ever get things completely done? At the end of the day, have you ever felt, okay, I have done everything, nothing to be done anymore tomorrow? No, most of the time, actually, tomorrow there is more to be done. But also, have you ever had the feeling that with your busy, 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 a complete fulfilled feeling that you have done everything that you truly wanted to do? Many times what we are busy with is not necessarily things that we deep inside want to do. Many times those are the things that we feel we have to do. It is our responsibility. Or we have created this idea that we have to do the things that society or others or our community demands of us that we do. And we are busy with it from morning till evening. Busy, 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 busy. Sometimes we observe this. Now you have a to-do list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to do. And then you open your email, and what happens? You have another 30 things added to that to-do list. And when we all the time have a to-do list that doesn't end, how do you feel? Overwhelmed, unhappy, overwhelmed. And ultimately also what can happen is that you feel tired or bored or disheartened and disillusioned, or you feel, I never get to do the things that I really want to do. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay. Good at this. And so are we with this whole thing of busy, busy? And there was a time when being busy was cool. Now it is not cool, but there was a time when people ask you, how are you? You don't say I'm good. You say I'm busy, busy, and it means good. So we have created a culture where we think that we are important. We think that we are successful. We think that our life is good as long as we are busy. And with today's developments, especially with the information technology developments, we have added to our possibility to be busy, because now we have a million things more to do or that we could do. I remember my grandmother lived in Holland, and my grandfather was on some project in New Zealand. So Europe, New Zealand. So she would write a letter to him at that time, and that letter would go by boat. And when it reached New Zealand, is like 3-4 months later. By the time he receives it and reads it and has enough stuff to write, another week or so has passed, and then he sends it back. Another 4 months. So after 8 months, she gets his reply. Now, you write, instantly it reaches the other side of the world, and instantly they reply, and instantly they reply, and instantly, and not just one person. If I don't create a border for myself, I can easily have interactions with more than 100 people like that in just one morning. Writing with this one, writing with that one, the phone going, then another phone going on the Zoom call, and sometimes 4 or 5 people together, interaction, all the time, interacting. And at the end of the day, what happens? You are tired, of course. So much energy has gone into it. But have we truly given time to the things that are important? Suja, are you still there? Suja?
Still here.
Can you put up that image of the
Mhm.
flyer?
Yes.
It is such a nice image that illustrates this aspect of how busyness can make us lose sight of what is really important. Because being busy becomes a habit. Being busy all the time, planning, our agenda full becomes a habit. Look at this. I hope everyone can see. So child is there in need of maybe not in need, but at least longing for some interaction and attention from parents. But parents busy, and the child waiting until parents have time for her. No? And this is what happens in a world that is where we are bombarded with things to do, things to do. And what is our solution for this? Hmm? We take a time management course to try and manage our time better. But what do we do with time management? We just squeeze our agenda fuller. We try to do more things in less time. No? But there are never less things to do. So no matter how much you try to squeeze in your, what, 16, 18 hours of day, there are always more things to do. So you will manage your time until you, all the juice is squeezed out of us. And still, there will be more things to do. And so this time management, and all of us, we have agendas and now all these apps, agenda apps, and everybody organizing that. Nothing wrong with organizing our lives, but there should be a bigger aim to it. And we lose ourselves in just organizing and trying to do, trying to get done, trying to do, trying to get done. And so the subtitle of today's talk was very useful, from time management to attention management. Because what really gives us a sense of fulfillment is not so much the 10 things we have to do or we have done, but the things we have done with quality, the things we have done with attention, the things we have done that brought us a deeper sense of fulfillment, the things that we have done which give us a sense of value and what is the word, that it was worth, and that it has I can't find the word now, fulfillment, but also that it was useful for the self, for others, for someone. And so doing things and doing more and more and more things doesn't necessarily mean we do things with quality. And it also doesn't mean necessarily that we are clear about what is priority. And so in a world with ever-growing demands, in a world with ever-growing amount of things to do, what is required is that we don't let our attention be scattered, and being clear about our aim, because we will need to learn the art of prioritizing. What is priority and what is not? We need to learn to choose. Life has become so demanding, so many things. But we need to learn to choose. And you can only make sensible choices in the face of an aim. If your aim is clear, then you know what to choose and how to choose. And that is a much better way to go through life than trying to do everything that comes on your plate, trying to do everything everyone asks of you or expects of you or demands of you. Now, someone gave this example of a server, someone who is serving, and how does a server keep a sense of control? Not by trying to serve every wave that the ocean brings, but a server has a sense of control by making sure his skills are up to date. I don't know if that is the right word. Yeah, his abilities, that he's trained, that he knows how to serve, that he knows what he's doing, but also he chooses which wave to ride. He doesn't have to ride every wave. Actually, it is not possible to, to ride every wave. And you don't choose a wave that is too high that you can't handle. And you also don't choose the lower waves, which are, they will just go by. You choose that wave for which your abilities are, for which you are trained. And then you enjoy. And you have that sense of mastery, and you have that sense of control. But it doesn't mean you have to serve every wave that comes at you. So you be in charge of your abilities, of your skills, and that refined eye of choosing which wave I will go with. And this is the problem in today's world, I think. We are not, we don't learn to choose what to do. And also information technology has as if come over us in such a short time, and all in the name of progress, all in the name of making our lives more easy and comfortable. But actually, it has made our lives more hectic and more busy than ever. And sometimes we feel we are drowning. Sometimes we feel we are never on top of it. But to learn to accept also that we don't have to be on top of everything. Just like that server, he doesn't have to ride every wave. That is not the art of living. That is not the art of serving. The art of serving is you know your surfboard, you know your skills, and you choose. So in the same way, if life is like an ocean and every situation is like a wave, you choose which situation, which activity to engage in. And you make time to up your ability to deal with situations. And within it, you choose which is priority, which is not. Not that image that was shown of this lady's hand holding the phone and the man hand, the couple and child. Is the sound okay, Suja?
Yes, sound is clear, Sister Rona.
The sound is not good. Then maybe the person should make their volume a bit higher.
Yeah, it's coming in clear.
Okay. So what was the last word I was saying? Oh yeah. So this image here, this couple has a child. So in this context, what is priority? Isn't your child and the upbringing of your child and the creation of an environment of attention and warmth for the child, isn't it at least important, if not one of the most important things? And of course, you have to provide physical things. There is a job or whatever that is required to create a household that is stable. But a child that doesn't get any attention because parents are always busy on whatever devices, why did we have that child in the first place? If we don't have time to be with the child, to play with the child, if not teach the child, learn the child, give an environment of warmth and relationship and interaction. So the image is, there has many messages. No? Are we prioritizing in our busy lives? And at the ultimately, what will give us a sense of fulfillment if we have good relationship with our children? Isn't it? But if I never have spent time with my children, what have I done? My relationship with my phone is better than the relationship with my child. What is going on? Something is wrong there. Something we have completely missed in this whole game. So this art of prioritizing and this art of letting go of this need of, or this belief that we need to do everything, that we need to be on top of everything. It is impossible. And it is also maybe not only impossible, it is also maybe not needed. And this is where the spiritual dimension comes in. This is where a spiritual awareness becomes useful. And we need to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of our life? And what is the purpose of the different things we are doing? Because in psychology, they say the things that, most of the things we do, we are motivated by a sense of wanting to be happy. Most of the things we do because we think sooner or later it will make us happy. And it is possible that we never properly have analyzed if it truly makes us happy, but these are just beliefs. Everybody does it, and this should be done. And if people are happy with me, then I will be happy. If I please everybody, if I go along with the herd, then I will feel secure and I will be happy. So this big motivating factor of wanting to be happy or wanting to be at peace or wanting to be loved, these are the factors behind many of the things we do. But again, we should ask ourselves, are these things making us happy? Truly? Are these things truly making us peaceful? Are these things truly making us feel secure? And again, this is why we need to learn to have the courage to question our actions. We need to have the courage to question our beliefs and our sometimes subconscious choices, or choices without thinking properly, thinking things through. And one of the questions to reflect on, to ask ourselves, is what is the aim of my life? What is my aim? In the bigger scheme of things. Okay, today my aim may be, oh, I want to go to the beach and hang out with my friends, and that is fine. But in the bigger scheme of things, what is the aim and the purpose for my life? Because in function of that aim, it will be more easy to choose what to do and what not to do, where to go, where not to go, what to engage in and what not to engage in. And this will help us not be busy to the extent that we are overwhelmed and that we get burned out. This morning, someone was talking to me and saying, the past few months, I've neglected myself. I was looking after, taking care of someone, and in the process, he did not sleep enough, did not eat properly, overdone it, and so he got sick, and he was out of the running for 3 weeks. And he said, in those 3 weeks, I was not useful for anyone, and I was a burden to others. So, but he said, my deeper aim in life is to serve, not to share with others, to what was the word he was using, to uplift and to empower others. I said, whatever I have received, whatever I am practicing, whatever I am understanding, I would like to use that for others to uplift themselves too. And he says that gives me a sense of fulfillment, a sense of peace, and a sense of self-respect also. But he was very clear. That is his purpose. That is what he wants to do. Bring benefit to others. And he said, that is very good, but in that process, I forgot that I also have to take care of self. And I have to also take care of my body. But at least he was clear about his aim. And because he was clear about his aim, he also realized that there is need to take care of the body too. There is need to take care, to take time out to reflect for myself what I need to do and what should I not do, so that I can continue to be useful for others also. And so this is part of, I think, our homework. Reflect on your purpose. What is the bigger aim you have set in life? Again, going back to this image of that girl. If your aim in life is to, I like how the girl is my parents. If the aim of your life is to have part of your life's aim is to have a family and to bring up children, then your choices should also be accordingly. But we need to verbalize this for ourselves, at least rationalize this for ourselves. Now, I'm going over to the whiteboard because I want to draw something in connection with this aim and this aim of life. I don't want to say anything at this moment. Yeah, all become high tech these days. Anyone want to say something so far here or on Zoom? Can you see this in your life, this out of proportion being busy, but through this busyness losing clarity of what the purpose actually is of all this busyness? Before I go to the whiteboard, I want to share a story. You like stories? So this is a story, of course, of the Caribbean. So there was this man in his hammock, and he was swinging. The hammock was between two trees in his backyard, and swinging, lying there. And his cousin, visiting him from Europe, is coming into the yard and sees him swinging in his hammock, enjoying the afternoon siesta. And he says to him, "Hey, why don't you plant this this piece of land here? Plant some plantains, or don't remember what the original thing in the story was." He says, "Oh, that is a nice idea. But why should I do that?" He says, "Well, if you plant it, then you can sell all these products, banana, 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 then you can sell all your bananas on the local market." And he says, "Okay, fine. But why should I do that? Because if you sell all these bananas on the local market, you can make more money." And he says, "Okay, but why should I need more money?" He said, "Because if you can have more money, you can buy more land and plant more banana trees and sell more on the local market." He said, "Okay, nice, but why should I do that?" "Because then you can get more money." And he said, "Okay, fine, but why should I do that?" "Because if you can have more money, then you can hire people to plant more trees, to produce more bananas, to sell more bananas, to plant more trees again, and to sell more bananas, and you have more money, and you can hire more people so that you can lie down in your hammock and enjoy the sun, in your hammock and enjoy the sun." He says, "Okay, very nice, but I'm already doing that right now." I'm already doing that in my hammock. I'm not promoting laziness or lethargy or lack of creativity. But sometimes we lose clarity of what exactly our original purpose is. And we get on the bandwagon of doing things and forgetting. Now, this is why, again, I'm repeating, it is useful to have a broader perspective and a more spiritual perspective on self and on life. And I'll sketch two models that we can have. Just simplified. At present, many of us have this learned acquired idea about self and life that is the following. And most of us never rationalize this, but we took it in as we were born and grew up. There is this subconscious belief or awareness that I am born at a certain time and I am born as nothing and no one. And when I am born in a certain family and I grow up and I lead my life, over time I become someone and I become important and I become valuable by the things I acquire and the people I can have in my life and the things I do or I develop to do in my life. My value goes up. My sense of worth goes up by acquiring, for example, acquiring an education, getting a job, getting money, getting certain friends, getting certain people around me, with me, getting into certain situations, getting into certain circles, getting into certain activities. That is what makes me someone. And then as life goes on, there comes a moment that the body comes to the end of its lifespan, and then everything goes back into nothingness. Simplified, but this is at present the subconscious model that we have of life. And this is in most, if not all, cultures at present. And this model to life and this sense of self is a very vulnerable one, because it means we carry with us a sense of importance that is based upon all these external factors, based upon whether my boss thinks I'm good or not good, whether my colleagues appreciate me, whether my partner says often enough that they love me or give me presents, or the amount of money I have in my bank account. It makes me very vulnerable because I deep inside feel I am nothing if not for all these things and these people and what they say and do. Say to me, give to me, say about me, how they treat me. And it makes me vulnerable because today they are nice and tomorrow they may not have time. And that is at best. Tomorrow they may not like me even. That makes it even worse. Or sometimes they may be in a bad mood. And so they don't have the energy to give me compliments or give me a gift or whatever. So this positioning in life makes us very vulnerable and very weak. And also it makes us vulnerable for being busy, because we all the time need to do so many things to earn the attention, the love, or the respect, or the things that make us feel we are someone, or we are important, or we are lovable, or we are worth attention. We are worth something. Now the spiritual model is very different. The spiritual model is You are eternally a divine being of consciousness. You are an imperishable being, a being with infinite potential of peace, of wisdom, of power, of love, of purity. That is you forever. And this being, the soul is another word, is the real you, invisible. And this being enters a body, embryo in the womb, and then that grows, and then there is birth, and then physical, visible life starts. And in that physical, visible life, all kinds of things happen. There are people around, there are possessions, there is position, there is money, all kinds of things. But all this is extra. It is an extra experience that begins with birth and it ends when the soul separates from the body. The soul doesn't die. That is only the body that has come to the end of it, it has reached expiry date, you can say. But the real you, the being of consciousness, continues. And your value, your beauty, your greatness, your truth, your importance is in who you innately and eternally are. A spiritual being, a being of peace, a being of purity, a being of love, a being with divine potential. It is always there, and that is forever the real you. And you come and play the game of human life. Extra experience. So whether there is money or no money, you are this peaceful, divine soul always. And everything here is just temporary also. It is like a game you play. But your importance and your value does not depend on this and doesn't fluctuate on this. And so the reason why we come into the physical is to share our inner treasures, to interact with others, to play this game, to experience human life, to play the game of human life. Now, if we're playing a game, it is not very sensible to be overwhelmed, to get burned out, to get confused, to get distressed, to get subservient, to become subservient, to feel that this computer and this inbox is your master. So instead of being subservient, be master and play the game. Some things are worth involving and some things are not worth. They're not needed. And some things are just not possible. And that's fine. It is an extra game. We are not victims. We are not beggars. This is a bit of a victim mode, a beggar mode. I'm needing, I'm needing, I'm needing. There's a subconscious chant going on. I need this one, I need that one, I need someone, I need more money, I need my boss to be like this, I want, I desire. We are all the time in a needy mode, which makes us extremely vulnerable to be unlimitedly busy and easy to get burned out. In this, You are master. You have come to experience. It's like, how to say, like a long holiday, tourist trip. You come for a visit here. Many different variety of experiences. Nice. And you also know it will end. No problem. That is another experience. Taking birth is another experience. Growing up is another experience. Interacting with people, exploring is another experience. So leaving the body is another experience. Bit of an adventurous spirit. Not a victim, but a master. And this shift will put our priorities straight. I am not here to be burdened by so many to do. What is worth doing? What is worth involving in? What helps me maintain this clarity and what helps others to maintain this clarity? That is worth paying attention to. If we go through this experience and we lose sight of the true self, what is wrong with us? And so instead of time management, shift to attention management. What do we need to pay attention to? Instead of trying to finish your to-do list every day, ask yourself, what is the purpose of my life? Who am I truly? And what is my perspective on life? And this is where it becomes useful to build your treasure store of spiritual wisdom. And the practice of meditation means you are reflecting more deeply on these things and experiencing the nature of the self as a soul, a being of consciousness. They say, no, are we human beings or are we human doings? The being is one thing, but doing, we forget who we are and what we are here for. And when you play a game, you enjoy. You can still be busy in the game, but the game, you're clear what the aim is of the game also. You know how to play the game. But ultimately, when the game is finished, you're also fine. You want to say anything or ask anything? Busy. You want to say anything, Suja?
I'm Shanti, sister. How are you today?
Good.
I just so enjoyed listening to your explanation. Sometimes, and I think it's so worth hearing again and again, is that when you get busy and you find you're not on that road, you're in a different, just going through life and not really looking at it from what is it that you are hoping to achieve. You know, so this is like, wait, take a moment. And you had me thinking now, like, wait, what are you hoping for? What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? You know, and then taking the time to think about your actions. What are you actually doing? Or are you just going through the motion, you know? So I loved hearing what you said, your explanation. It's making me step back. I'm now in my own mind saying, I know now more clearly, because I asked myself while you were speaking what it was that I hope to achieve. My ultimate goal And how will I get that? How will I get there? What will I be doing to make that happen? And what will I not be doing? That's the other point. What will I not be doing? Spending my time on that I don't need to. And I also love the part with when you're involved in the drama, a lot of times you get caught up in that, you think you need it, you think you want it. But when you step back and you say, wait a minute, I'm a peaceful soul. I don't need to go there. And I think that's so important that you step back and say that, because when you say it and you believe it, you can walk away and not get involved. So that's what I was feeling when you're speaking. Thank you. I'm Shanti. Good to see you.
Paulette. Yeah. Very nice. Anyone else? Yeah. Progress. Yeah. 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 And then the car itself becomes useful also. Yeah. 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 Very good. Very good.
Rona, it was hard to hear from our side.
Yeah, he was giving the example. If you may have the most powerful car, but if don't have an aim, if you don't know where you're going, and it is like you're driving in a foggy road and you make very little progress, even though you have the most powerful car. But if you are clear where you are going and what your aim is, then you can use that car better also, and you can go fast. Okay, time flies as always. Let's have a few moments of meditation together. And meditation in its purest form, it is just coming back to this awareness and getting into that experience and the fullness of being a pure, peaceful, spiritual, living light. Experiencing the beauty and the fullness that is already inside. We don't need to look for that outside. So as we sit comfortably, let the body relax. Withdraw the attention from all those things that you have done and thought about today and yesterday. And just let us aim to come back to essence of self. That we exist here as a being of consciousness. Timeless, imperishable, innately divine being of light. And it may help to use the image of this tiny star, living light, operating from the center of the forehead. Pure, peaceful, free. Invisible being of light. One who is a visitor in this body, a visitor on this planet, a visitor to play the game of life. And just reflect on this and aim to remind yourself that there is this invisible dimension, the soul and its world, and there is this visible dimension with bodies and objects and matter, the stage where we play out the game. But let's not get trapped in the game. And as we go through the rest of the evening, just come back to this awareness again of being a being of light. Thank you.